You must be heard of the game called Whack the Mole. Today, let's code with AI and build something similar. Not whack the mole, but whack my face. So we're going to whack my image popping up from a hole. In 30 seconds, try to get as many scores as possible. I'm doing this because I believe being an AI builder will make you a valuable asset. And the best way to learn AI is through building something, regardless of doing it for fun or solving real-life problems. So in this video, I will show you how to build this game by ChatGPT and Cursor AI. You'll also learn how to publish the web game to your GitHub repository through MCP and how to deploy it by using Netlify. Without further ado, let's jump into today's video. First of all, let me clarify some of the skill sets you may need for this mini project. Prompt engineering, for sure. Coding, yes, and it's gonna be HTML, CSS, and JavaScript in this tutorial. You may also need to know a bit about MCP and basic use of GitHub. If you're not so familiar with some of them, don't worry about that. You will learn from this video. And AI will do a lot of heavy lifting for you. I will start with ChatGPT through sending prompts back and forth, then I will move into using Cursor AI. Why? Well, first, Agentic AI tools like a Cursor and a Windsurf are super powerful, but I admit they do make my brain very lazy. There are already plenty of studies proving using these tools actually makes us stupid. Well, this still doesn't justify me using standalone LLMs like ChatGPT, but at least it requires more effort from user side. Secondly, from ChatGPT to Cursor AI, you will see how fast AI landscape has been evolving, how AI has upgraded from one level to higher paradigm. So in the first example, I'm going to use VS Code as ID. Let's open the project folder, and this is my image where I go into whack during the game. This is the first prompt I wrote to ChatGPT. Imagine you are a game developer. Help me develop a game called Whack a Mole by using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. The idea is that the players will whack my image placed on a 3x3 grid. Once they hit it, one score will be assigned. Make sure that your prompt specifies persona, task, context, etc. to get answers of higher quality from ChatGPT. But in the meantime, I also feel as AI is getting smarter and smarter, it's becoming better at guessing what we want. And in many cases, we actually don't need that detailed prompt than before to get the same level of information. But anyway, prompt engineering will always remain an important skill to learn. Then let's give ChatGPT HTML requirements. I want to have 5 basic elements in this web game: a big heading, a clickable start button, a score session, a timer, and a 3x3 grid. Now, ChatGPT is generating HTML code for us, and let's check out what we get from it. As requested, the HTML code contains heading, button, score, time, and the code for holes in the grid repeating 9 times. Sometimes I prefer this way of using AI because before I get a final product from AI, I will at least check out the code and learn something along the way. I don't know much about HTML, but I already asked ChatGPT to write HTML code for me a couple of times. At least I know the part called H1 is a place where I can change the heading name. Anyway, let me copy paste these code snippets to VS Code and see how this website looks like. Alright, as you can see, the vibe actually looks very ugly. The heading is too small and these images are unproportionally big, but that's totally okay in just the beginning, as HTML just provides, basic framework of the website. For those of you who are not familiar with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, let me explain them to you through analogy. HTML is like our skeleton. CSS styling decides our skin tone, the size and color of eyes or clothes we're gonna wear. In other words, it helps with the style and design of a website. JavaScript writes our organs, ensuring we are mobile. We can think and interact with the environment. If you click a button in a website and something immediately pops up, that's the credit of JavaScript. We haven't provided CSS and JavaScript requirements. ChatGPT actually already generated the code for us, but I still want to be more specific about what I want the entire website to look like. So here are the CSS styling requirements. I want the background color to be, let's say, coral reef red. There should be proper space between each section. Border radius should be set up. And the shape of holes and images should be circular. ChatGPT is now generating every detail for us. Again, we copy paste the code snippet back to VS Code. Let's check out the web again. And this time we see the style has been designed properly. We got a cover with red background and the layout has been made minimalist as requested. But perhaps the length of the start button is too short. Then I'm going to ask ChatGPT which new argument I should add to adjust this length. It turns out that the best option is to use width. So I'm going to copy paste it to the corresponding place in the code. Now, the button looks much better, but you may as well change the parameter a bit to make it more presentable. Don't hesitate to play around with other parameters in the CSS code and see how this is going to impact the appearance of this website. Until this step, the game is still not playable because we don't have a JavaScript code. It's like a human without organ. So let me give ChatGPT the requirements in JavaScript. I want 3 functions to happen. First, the image should pop up randomly from one of the 9 holes. Once the player works the image successfully, 1 score should be assigned, and the final image should appear when the time is up. And this time, after we copy-paste JavaScript code to VS Code, we should be able to play this game. Let's refresh the website and see how it's gonna work. Let me click the start button, and now we can see the timer is counting 30 seconds, and the image is randomly popping up. It's actually a bit too fast, and then I kind of have a hard time catching each image. If that's too challenging for you, ask ChatGPT to adjust the time interval between 2 image pop-ups. I'm not gonna send a request here. Instead, I will leave the task for you if you're interested in it. After the game is over, we got a message saying you got 15 scores, keep up. Let's make this game a bit better. Every time I try to whack the mole, I have no clue if I hit it successfully or not. This is a prompt I give ChatGPT to add a red cross on top of the image once the player hits the target. After I made corresponding changes in CSS and JavaScript, let's check if it works properly. This time when I hit the target, we can see a small red cross on the image. I'm not a game person and it's still so hard for me to hit it. Let's add audio this time. Whenever I click the image, I should hear click sound, and when the time is up, if the final score is lower than 20, the game over sound will be played. Otherwise, we will hear winning sound. Make sure you already download audio files to the project folder. Let's update the HTML and the JavaScript according to answers from ChatGPT, and we will see later if the audio files are applied on the website or not. Let me try the game again, and this time you can hear the click sound when the image is whacked. Unfortunately, I only got 14 scores, so you are gonna hear
game over.
You already learned how to build this game with ChatGPT. Now, let's try to build the same thing again, but with Cursor AI this time. You will see how fast the entire process can be. For convenience, I will just copy-paste the existing prompts from ChatGPT to Cursor AI. Let's also do some context management. Make sure you import the image and audio files to Cursor project folder. As I will keep using the same image, all you need to do is to drag it from the panel on the left-hand side to the AI chat panel, so Cursor will know which image to refer to. Bear in mind that we need to select agent mode here and choose whatever LLM you're comfortable with. Here, I will go for Cloud AI 4.5. Then, let Cursor AI do the heavy lifting for us. Now we can see it's generating HTML code right now. Let me accept it, and we can see how the code looks like. In this file, it seems Cursor AI has integrated HTML, CSS, and JavaScript code into one single file. Then, let's move into the game. The web design looks a bit different from the one created by ChatGPT. And this time, let me try to hit more than 20 scores, because I don't want to hear the hellish game over sound. So, I'm gonna play until the end of this game. Okay, perfect. We got a winning song. One more very important step to go. If you want to share this game with others or put it on your resume, you'd better deploy your game so that other people can have access to it through the link. If you don't know how to do it, ask ChatGPT how the process looks like. Here are the 2 steps to go, and this is exactly what I usually deploy in my own websites. First of all, upload all your project files to your GitHub repository. So I'm gonna name this repository like a web game whack my face. You can also write a bit of description here. Make sure you make this project public in the configuration section. Create a repository, then upload all files in the project folder. Click commit changes. Second, we're gonna use Netlify. Basically, Netlify is a platform where you can build and deploy your web applications. So let's deploy this project in Netlify through GitHub. We click GitHub icon, authorize Netlify, and look for the repository we just created in GitHub. Give it a project name, and Netlify automatically generated a link. We click it, then we can have access to the web game. We already deployed this game successfully in this way, but if you don't want to upload everything to your GitHub repository manually, let's talk about a very important concept in the context of agentic AI, and that's MCP. MCP, or Model Context Protocol, refers to an open source standard for connecting AI applications to external systems. You can think of MCP like a USB-C port for AI applications. Once equipped with MCP, your AI coding projects can be automatically migrated from AI applications like a Cursor, AI, Cloud, or ChatGPT to the external systems like a GitHub in our case. So I'm going to show you how to use GitHub MCP in Cursor so that once Cursor completes the building process, this project can be automatically uploaded to your GitHub repository. First, search for GitHub's official MCP server. We scroll down and click Cursor. In this case, I will go for streamable HTTP configuration. Alternatively, you can also choose Docker configuration, but make sure Docker is installed and running while using Cursor. I'm gonna click Add to Cursor, then page will be directed to Cursor AI. Next to authorization, we need to replace it with GitHub Personal Access Token. To create this token, go to Settings, Developer Setting, look for 5 green tokens, give a token name, then select all repositories in Repository Access section. It's very important to add permissions you are comfortable with below. Make sure you give administration and context both read and write access. Then we copy the token and paste it next to authorization. Once the GitHub MCP is installed properly, you should be able to see a green dot. Here, we got 40 functions in this MCP, and what we need is called create repository. Let's go back to AI chatbot. I requested Cursor to use the GitHub MCP I just deployed to create a new repository called WhackMyFace Cursor AI and upload all 5 steps. Send a request and just let Cursor do the heavy lifting. As we can see, Cursor is approaching this task step by step, like creating repository, uploading text files, running lots of commands related to Git. After it goes through all steps, we can see these projects in the new repository on my GitHub page. Here is a project description in README file. Let's also check out the code file and my face we're gonna whack. To wrap it up, deploying MCP can be a little bit more time consuming in the beginning compared to manually uploading everything. But once it's deployed, you can use it repeatedly in the future to save more time. Okay, we've done pretty much everything. Let's talk about AI evolution. If you use AI coding editors like Cursor, Windsurf, Github Copilot from time to time, you might have seen a significant shift in how we interact with AI since the last 2 or 3 years. And this is because of the progress of AI paradigm. Let me gradually explain to you how things have been evolving. The web game I built with ChatGPT in the first example is actually how we use traditional AI in the very first beginning. We open the chat window of any LLM, then we frame the prompt, get answers from it. In case of any error, we copy-paste it back to the chat window. We keep sending follow-up prompts if we have more questions. Then here's something I didn't show in this video. Starting from some point, we have something called GitHub Copilot completion that enables us to complete the unfinished code in the optimized way if we are stuck by some coding challenges. We no longer need to open ChatGPT and structure a long prompt that includes something like a context, task, persona, etc. That's a big progress of AI, but I think the real game changer should be agentic AI. Given traditional AI like ChatGPT or GitHub Copilot completion, we get answers from it, but we cannot outsource the execution step. However, in the second example of this video, we can see that agentic AI is like a smart intern who makes a step-by-step project plan, executes each step, finds solutions whenever errors occur, and finally delivers the results. We pretty much just need to tell them what we want to build, the requirements, and give some necessary resources. We basically just play the role of AI manager. That's everything I want to share with you here. I hope you learned something from this video. If you want to improve your AI skills, I believe the best way is to build something by yourself. So if you're interested in it, try it yourself. I promise I will bring more topics about how to use AI, how to learn coding faster with AI, how to make progress in your data science journey. So see you next time. Bye.